Hello and welcome. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm going to be answering a question that was asked in comments down below. I love your comments. This came from Sasha Crespi. Sasha says, "Hey David, I would love a historical discussion of Hofzinser, specifically his parlor magic and the environment he was able to create. Please consider." Well, you know, I'm not going to be able to answer all of that question, but it occurred to me that I've actually never done a video on this gentleman, Hofzinser. One of the greats of our history, one of the greats of magic, and I have not paid any attention to him. Why? Well, you know, my focus is mentalism, mental magic. That's kind of where I gravitate. The last thing I would ever describe myself as being is a card person. I don't do a lot of card magic. I do card magic. I don't think you can do mentalism without doing some type of card magic. But most of the people who take an interest in Hofzinser have an interest in card magic because he was a pioneer. He was, in many respects, the father of card conjuring. And you know, I'm sure I'm going to get some argument there and some kickback, but I think he's considered to be the father of card conjuring. I think Di Vernon was heavily influenced by him. I think a lot of modern card magicians are influenced by him. I think a lot of the techniques that he developed are still used by people who specialize in card magic today. So I think he's a very important figure, but because I don't gravitate to that kind of magic, he's less important to me personally. But to magic as an art, he's very important. Now, about his parlor magic and what made him popular, as I was preparing for this presentation and trying to do some research, I discovered that he did a lot of political satire. He told stories. He was engaging. He was entertaining. And I think that whatever you decide you're going to do, whatever material you present, you have to be likable. You have to be entertaining. You have to be engaging. If you do all those things, it doesn't matter what you do, because people are going to like you. They're going to come to you. When people pay a price to get into your show, they're paying to see you. They're not necessarily paying to see the tricks that you do. They're paying to see you, and people were willing to pay to see Hofzinser because of the kind of person he was, because of the kind of entertainer he was. Born June 19th, 1806, crossed over March 11th, 1875. Jean Eugene Robert Houdin was born December 7th, 1805, crossed over June 13th, 1871. So these two were very much contemporaries. I share that with you because Jean Eugene Robert Houdin is considered to be the father of modern magic. Indeed, he was a contemporary with Hofzinser. Now, I see these people as being very different. I see Johann Hofzinser as a Di Vernon, or in modern terms, as a Steve Cohen. Steve Cohen of Chamber Magic. I see these people being out of the similar, whereas Robert Houdin was a full stage magician. He was what you think of as a magician. He did. Now, Hofzinser spent most of his time in cabaret or in parlor, in small environments where card magic makes perfect sense. And Jean Eugene Robert Houdin did card magic as well, but he did a lot of. He was the inventor of the ethereal suspension or the broom suspension. So different kinds of magicians, but his history casual history will often refer to Jean Eugene Robert Houdin as being the magician that made magic palatable to high society. Well, Hofzinser has that reputation as well. Just as Steve Cohen appeals to high society, so did he. He appealed to high society of his time. And I'll tell you this, let's go back a little further. There's a performer by the name of Isaac Fulks. Isaac Fulks, 1675, passed away, crossed over, 1732. He is the one that took magic. If you can picture it, before Isaac Fulks, the vast majority of magic was done in what you might call a Renaissance fair environment. It was street magic, it was busking, it was in a fair environment. But Isaac Fulks put it on a parlor, on a stage, where people paid a price to get in to see it. It was really Isaac Fulks, I think, who pioneered it and who made it palatable to high society. Jean-Eugène Robert Houdin capitalized upon that, built upon that, and so did Hofzinser. Hofzinser is Austrian-Hungarian magician, aka Dr. Hofzinser, aka the father of all card conjurers. He's specialized in refined sleight of hand. He's portrayed by Philip McGough in the 2006 film The Illusionist, starring Edward Norton and Jessica Biel. He was an entertainer of Vienna's high society. Blended political satire into his performances. So, Sasha, if you want to know specifically the environment he was able to create, I think the fact that he was a political satirist lent a lot to his success, in addition to his sleight of hand skill. He performed by invitation only, so it was considered quite an event in upper class society of Vienna to attend one of his presentations because it was exclusive, by invitation only. Guy Vernon said that his motto, "Be natural," came from Hofzinser. Hofzinser was employed at the financial department of the Austrian-Hungarian monarchy. In 1857, Hofzinser presented illusions in his apartment, Salon, for an elite audience of invited guests. 3 to 4 times a week he performed. He called these gatherings an hour of deception and charged a very high fee for admission. In 1865, he went on tour in Berlin, Munich, and in most of the bigger cities in the Austrian monarchy. He had a minimalist approach. He used simple settings and simple everyday props. He was a specialist with playing cards. One of the earliest, if not the earliest, card experts. He invented many card manipulations which are still in use today. There are 2 works that document his life and work. Ottokar Fischer, born 1873, crossed over in 1940, published his findings in his books in 1910, and later in 1942 they were published. I believe those works are in German. And then an Austrian magician by the name of Magic Christian also published a 3-volume set, which I believe is also in German, making it rather difficult to get a hold of. However, now Dreams asked me coincidentally around the same time as Sasha Crespi asked if I would do a presentation on Hofzinser. But Dreams said to me specifically, "Will you please review these books by Magic Christian?" Well, I can't review a book that I don't own. I went out and looked for them. I found them at Vanishing Magic. So if you're interested, go to Vanishing Magic website and type in Hofzinser, and you will get the Magic Christian books in, I think it's 2 volumes as opposed to 3. I believe, though, and don't quote me on this, you might want to ask Vanishing Magic before you purchase, but I believe they're English translations, and right now they're priced at $300. So it's an expensive set. If you're interested in card magic, if card magic is your thing, or you have a historical interest in Hofzinser, then I would definitely look into getting those books. However, Dreams, I can't review the books. I can't tell you about them. Can't tell you what's in them. Can't tell you the quality. because I don't own them. You know, I have an extensive library. There's a lot of books that I do have. There's a lot of books I could review, but I can't review these because I don't own them. So, folks, but what I wanted to do was give you an introduction to this gentleman, to the history to his contributions to our history. I hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you so much for joining me. Please comment down below. There's a lot that I don't know about him. Maybe you do. Please add it to the comments below so that we can all enjoy that information. Please subscribe if you've not done so already. Thank you so much for being with me. Have a great day.